Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your...
What kind of medical exam?
There's nothing to be alarmed about. I just have a few simple questions about your... It's my responsibility to make sure that you... I'm going to ask you a series of medical-related questions, and I'd like you to... First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an...
Wouldn't Vault-Tec's screening process have caught that?
Vault-Tec's screening process? Let me check my notes. You were a Vault. You're probably healthier than any...
Sure.
Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you... Okay, have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed...
Have you had problems with the crew catching?
Well, it's not unusual for our recon teams to stumble across contaminated environments or disease. We don't want a single crewman infecting... Anyway, this exam is about you, so... Have you had or...
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered...
That happens often enough for you to have a question.
You'd be surprised how many wastelanders answer yes to that question. Fortunately, the Brotherhood finds that type of behavior absolutely
Right.
Since you haven't spent too much time in the wasteland, I'll assume your... Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formally?
That's more of a morals...
Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important. Anyone that hesitates firing in combat due to misguided moral standards, certainly. So what about you?
If my life's in danger, we'll do whatever it takes.
That's an acceptable answer, and the most common. Excellent. I think I've got... I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duty if you ever need medical assistance.
Right.
We're out here representing. So make them proud.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as...
Right. What are you doing with all these books?
I suppose I could stop...
Which books contain...
Technical volumes, repair manuals, design philosophies. medical research, anything that enhances the Brotherhood. That's why I consider everything else.
Makes sense to get rid of.
Well, I'm pleased you... Since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting, would you mind telling me what?
Should I come back when you're less busy?
Our recent arrival in the Commonwealth has left me with an immense amount of data. None of that's your fault, really. You obviously... What was it again?
Maxon wanted me to meet the crew, so...
Ah, yes. You must be the new recruit Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of mine. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded. Unfortunately,
Uh-huh. What type of technical documentation?
the Brotherhood is primarily interested in collecting information that might... Medical records, science journals,
Maybe I can lend you...
That would be... As you patrol the Commonwealth, I'm authorized to pay you for each... And if you wish to be assigned to... In any event.
I've served on this vessel for years.
With the Pridwin in
The only
town,
home I know.
the Institute doesn't have a chance.
Hi.
Proctor Tegan's looking for folks to procure supplies from local farms. You should talk to him.
Don't worry. You'll get used to sleeping comfortably underneath
Have you
massive
ever fired a
containers of
minigun?
highly flammable
Chews through
gas.
barrels like paper.
Yes?
Paladin.
Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
That depends.
My power armor systems are within normal operating. You just give the word.
Ready.
Roger that.
Heads up.
Awaiting you. Yeah?
Your thoughts?
I really should have my armor at...
Uh-huh. How do you think things are?
I don't see how this is a relevant question right now.
Carry food with you or you'll end up eating some pretty questionable things to stay alive.
Doesn't it feel good to be a part of something as important as the Brotherhood?
So, you're the new recruit I heard about. Not what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
The last batch of recruits we took on were wastelanders. Dirty, beaten up, looking for a hand. They were desperate and looking for an easy out. You look like... Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is... If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Pridwin's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's...
Is this where I get my power armor?
Ha! That's always the first question. Let's see... I just fixed up a pretty decent T-60 suit. The left leg actuator's a bit sticky, but it's sitting in Bay 3. There isn't a day that goes by on this tug. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I...
You feel like telling me how you ended up?
That's a little personal, don't you think?
Come on. If we're going to be working as a team, we should get to know...
I guess I can't argue with that. I was fighting with the Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland. Worked at a staging area for the power. Our position was along a ridge line overlooking the battlefield. I'd say it was 100...
You weren't aboard the Pridwin?
The Pridwin wasn't under Maxon's command at the time. It wasn't even in the capital. If she'd had been there, the battle wouldn't have been such a challenge. To make a long story short, the ridge I was standing on took a hit. Sheared most of the cliff right off. If I hadn't been test piloting one of the power armors...
Your power armor helped you survive?
Yeah, it took the brunt of the impact. But I don't know if I'd call it. The suit was trashed after it landed, and I haven't walked since. Anyway, if you need any work done on your power... Now, if you'll excuse me...
The last person I disobeyed, Captain Kells ended up scraping rust off Pridwin's hull. Outside. Can't talk right now.
I'm just suit up.
What brings you to me today?
Have anything unusual?
I have some special mod. Sort of a hobby I have. Slap a few of them onto your...
Let's hear a bit more about that.
Hard to resist them. The food stores don't replenish themselves. We'll be requisitioning a pool. Your mission will be to ensure...
Any means that...
You said it. Think you can handle that?
I'm in.
That's what I like. You'll find the farm on your map.
Proctor Teagan.
Most farmers won't be too happy about donating their crops.
Sure. I'm looking for some firepower.
Got some choice.
Our vertibird should give us the air supply. Superiority we need to win this one.
Hail, Knight.
Dr. Ingram said she needed this suit tested yesterday.
Yeah, I get it. Just, what if I miss?
Don't.
Sure. Firing.
Do you know what a 10-pound cockroach can do to a buoyancy regulator?
I guess.
Don't be smart. You want to see the Brotherhood's greatest warship?
All right, all right.
You know, before getting shipped to the Commonwealth, I thought Elder Lion still had some good points. The Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland, they were about helping. But this assignment, it's opened my eyes. On the flight here, we passed city after city, buildings taller than I've ever seen, some that nearly clipped the Pridwin. And who uses them now? Mutants. Freaks. Seeing all that destruction, tens of millions dead, brought on by technology run amok, it made it so clear. Elder Maxon is right. The wasteland needs to be cleansed, and we're the ones to do it.
I'd gladly lay down my life if it keeps humanity from repeating the apocalypse.
Now that you've had a chance to roam the Pridwen, what do you think, Knight?
Where did the Pridwen get her name?
Elder Maxon said he took the name from something about a man who was destined to become a king, and his journey to seems fitting for...
She's very impressive.
Yes. It took the Brotherhood's sharpest minds over 2 years to design.
Where was the Pridwen constructed?
She was constructed at Adams Air Force Base, just outside. There was a vast amount of scrap metal in salvageable components. We spent the first 2 years alone gathering the parts. It was worth the effort. With the Pridwen in our arsenal, we can mobilize her presence in the Common.
Did the Brotherhood ever build?
There were less advanced versions of the ship, historical records about. In any event, I think you'll find that the more familiar you become, you're dismissed.
Find any technical documents. You should bring them to Proctor Flint.
You don't look like you're here to trade.
What would you take?
I have to say,
Let me think about it.
whatever you say.
Right.
What do you want?
The Brotherhood needs food.
Doesn't sound like we have much choice.
Feels like you can take on the world in there, doesn't it?
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Pridwen's crew.
Knight. You have...
Do you have any idea?
Officer, have you had any luck?
I found some technical documents for you.
These aren't... I don't have time.
Proctor.
Knight. You have...
I found some technical documents for you.
These are... I don't...
Right.
Knight. You have technical documents.
I've got time to assist on a patrol.
Wonderful. The scribe will meet. Your mission is to escort and protect. I expect...
Glad to see you. You've returned safely from the Institute, brother.
Hesitating to pull the trigger on the comic.
Proctor Tegan.
How'd it go? Successful, I bet.
Yes, sir.
You'll sure get the... Here are your caps. Plenty of farms out there to cross off the list if these farmers realize what we did for them on a daily basis.
Nothing today.
Fine by me.
Charging into a situation, guns.
No time to waste. There's work to be done. Elder Maxon.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Pridwin's crew...
What sort of assignment are we talking about?
The kind of assignment. Let's get right to it, then. Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong. And it's infested with super mutant. Having those aberrations of nature close enough to smell is making me sick to my... To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells. I want you to head over there. Wipe out it.
Right.
Understood?
Super mutants? I thought the enemy...
Super mutants are no better. They're a reminder of man's folly, whether it's using biochemistry to manipulate as members of the Brotherhood. So,
What do these...
the Fat Man launcher is an essential... A squad of troops. If you ever have the pleasure, don't fire one of them in close quarters. That enough to go on?
Consider it done.
Look, I realize you're eager to take the fight to the Institute. But the Brotherhood cannot allow those above...
It'll be a pleasure to exterminate.
Now, we have a vertibird. Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong. Dismissed.
The Pridwin moored above the airport keeps the Brotherhood within striking distance of the city.
Elder Maxon. If it looks dead for one more, it's dead for 3 more.
This is our supply depot. Unless you're here on official business, I need you to clear out.
Night. Reporting for duty, sir.
What's the mission?
Research patrol.
Let's do this.
Yes, sir. Here's the location. I'll follow your lead, sir.
Hostile, you must be terminated.
Good work. Don't leave anything behind. This is quite an unusual location.
Hello? Combat initiated.
Ceasefire.
Going down. Oh.
Nice.
Put two in the head and they'll stay dead. Advice to live by. Damn ferals. Radiation has a twisted sense of humor.
Going down.
Wait, what was that? Area secure. Who's there? Caught you. Stand down. Over here. Threat neutralized.
Appears to be nothing. Perhaps my sensors need calibration.
Going up.
Proctor Quinlan.
Finished your mission?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Well done. And here, for your troubles, there's plenty of material out.
Commonwealth looks bad. You should see the capital wasteland. You're reconnoitering.
Welcome aboard, Knight. Instruments are green, and we're cleared for release. Target acquired. I'll try and keep him in your sights. I'm gonna find a place to set her down, then hightail it back to the Prydwen for repairs.
Stuff here.
Quite a bit of trash to get through here. Searching through it could prove beneficial.
Here's something.
I'm not gonna make this easy for you. Go down. Negative visual. Think you're Judging from the amount of dust present, it's safe to assume we're the first people to investigate this location in quite a while.
What's that?
This equipment's here for a reason. Let's find out why.
A noise? Yeah, must have been good.
Who's there? Going to slaughter you, Ray!
Look at this place. You must hate...
Why do you hate super mutants so much?
They're responsible for the death of a close friend. A brother. So when you ask if I hate them, these monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking... I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synth...
Sure.
It would be Armageddon repeated. And maybe... Look, I don't mean to bore you with my rhetoric. I just want you to
How could synths bring up...
If the synths reached the point where they outnumbered mankind, how long would it take for them to... They certainly possess the capability, and with Institute technology, it's a nightmare... Anyway, what's important here is that you should head back up to the Prydwen and dismissed.
Fixes to get through out here, so...
Internal monitoring active.
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier.
What happens at Fort Strong now?
Paladin Dance is supervising the transfer of the Fat Man warheads to the Prydwen. They'll provide... I've also ordered a detachment to occupy the location. And you... All in all.
It was an honor fighting for them.
I'm glad you feel that way. Because our mission... In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use... I try to supply my soldiers... Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your... Simply throw one to the ground. And once you're aboard, use the map on your Pip-Boy to interface with the pilot's navigation system. So he'll be able to take you...
Where can I get more?
I'd use the supply I gave you sparingly. These devices are far more complex than a standard smoke grenade.
Thank you, Elder.
I expect that you will. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step in even greater Our latest intelligence tells us you've infiltrated the Institute. I'm quite disappointed you chose to build the signal interceptor without... However, you've secured... Since you've unexpectedly accelerated, first and foremost, there could be data vital to the success of our mission. The second part of your mission. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted...
How did the Brotherhood meet Dr. Lee?
She was part of a civilian project in the capital wasteland. It wasn't difficult. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself. We're fairly certain.
What sort of differences?
Although she was working with the Brotherhood of Steel, she never... After the capital wasteland was secured, she objected to the Brotherhood's I think she assumed we would just walk away. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want... If you find out that she's still alive, there's a special project we're working.
What's this project that needs her attention?
Dr. Lee previously worked on a potent weapon.
Right.
We'd like her to continue. Just keep your mind on the mission. Good luck, Knight.